I'm Rob Gaykhorst, and my son Jason here. We in tandem run the S15 C-Gas Auto drag car. Jason is my crew chief.
And Ep.5 tuner and do all the computer work and data logging and everything else, and chassis setup at the track.
We went over east and did a course in Haltech, and I sat at the back and argued with the with the lecturer, and Jason learned.
So what's the basic setup on the car? So V8 obviously.
It's a V8, it's a Jerry Bickle. We bought plans from America for a Jerry Bickle chassis for a Pontiac, for a pro stock Pontiac, and we built it in a shed alongside over 2 years. It's a chrome moly chassis with a strange rear end. It's actually Bob Glidden pro stock races rear end. Was in an accident and I scored that. Well, it cost me a bit, but we sort of got that. It's got like a Group A style engine in it. Well, the block is a Group A from
Greg Murphy's block and cylinder heads from his V8 supercar team.
When he went bankrupt or whatever he did, we bought that at a reasonable price. It was still a new block, virgin block. The cylinder heads had done, I think,
one Bathurst meeting.
One Bathurst meeting. Been lifted up about 3/4 of an inch, the ports now. And they're all being placked up at the bottom. Completely different seats and valve size and all that. The basic castings are there. Got a lot of sleeves in places and stuff, and for drag racing, make it work. And they flow about 880 to 900 horsepower.
It's interesting to see left-hand drive Silvia as well. That's obviously because you got to go to America for the chassis. Jason was telling me at the track the other day that it's just easy to get it because everything's in the US. So
that's one of the reasons. The availability of parts. The other reason was with a small car to try and hold the balance of the car, which is a bit of contradictory because my back's hard up. It's probably 1.5 inches off the back tyre, and the feet are basically on the front wheels. So
they're small car, definitely smaller than a lot of the American and Australian stuff that you see running there anyway. So how much does this weigh with all the
2,242.
Yeah, right.
So it's about 1,020 kilos. So
of course. Talking back to kilos when we're talking about the Silvia. The body is a standard body. It's a complete. It started off as a complete tin body. The picture behind you on the wall up there, that was a complete tin body. We bought the panels from around the world. I had a half cup which I took all the measurements from. The only part we could use off that body was the boot lid.
When did the journey start?
It was about 12 years ago. The RX-7 hit the wall and disintegrated. So then my wife didn't want me in the house anymore. So she's no.
Not the house or pub, so it was the shed. And
it was the shed. And I got kicked out there for 2 years and told to build a chassis. So I bought the plans from America.
It's about 10 years the car's been going.
And was it the original plan to get it where it is right now, or was it sort of deviated and changed along the way?
Started off with a cast iron headed Chevy in it, a single 4-barrel, which was G-gas, which we did reasonably well, but there was a few Fords in Australia running a little bit harder than us, and there's no way you can get a Chev to compete against a Ford, not a canted valve Ford. So we thought, okay, we'll get a canted valve as well, but in a Chev, and change classes to C-Gas automatic, which we're thinking about with the clutch pedal on the ground here and everything. We're thinking about going Liberty 5-speed. That's in progression now, sort of thing. So we went C-Gas automatic. and built our own engine. It's basically a 2.9 crank in it, Kelly's lightweight crank, with a 4-inch 50 thou bore, which worked out 299 cubes. And then we made our own manifold.
Yeah, so we were showing us before all the tricks. You got a dyno and sort of do most of the things in house, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I had to make forgings to make the manifolds and stuff, and pressed up our own manifold. And then put 2 Holly Terminator throttle bodies on with 8 injectors at the top, which we started with 8 injectors at the top. Then we went to 8 at the top and another 8 at the bottom as in the runners to try and get fuel distribution, and with a Haltech on it, which will probably upgrade from a 950 to a 25, or what's the other one?
Oh, that Nexus. Nexus computer
yeah,
as well.
we might go to that one, but I think that's got too many features on it. No, we don't need it to run the car. We need to run the engine. We're the first one that we know of. We're the first one in Australia in super stock with a Haltech on it, with this sort of, it's more a high-tech engine now. It's like the Japanese Chevy, almost. A little stroke, big bore, 10,500 RPM.
What's the record you're probably most proud of to already have?
Mile an hour so far, and track.
Mile an hour is probably the main one, because that's above the Australian National, which the people that have owned the records at the moment, obviously running pro stock now, which is really the area everyone looks to for the naturally aspirated guys in drag racing.
And what mile an hour do you have? What's the record? What's the number?
164.7?
164.7, and it was set at 164.4 for Australians, so...
So what, the extra little bit?
We'll go... Well, I'm pretty sure when we sort the few bits out in the car, we'll go 168. We'll go hopefully reasonably, we hope for a 170. We want 7s, the Australian records, the Australian record in ET is 799. And our license number is 795 with a dot in there. We got that on special. Nice. I built my own flow benches and dyno, so I had to do that. Our son helps us with everything, and the flow bench, without that, I'd be in serious trouble.
And you guys have a PETA sponsorship.
Yeah, you're very lucky to get that. Thank Dave for that.
So that's obviously my work.
So you work there,
my boss was been doing pretty good at work, so chuck a few dollars this way and helps a few little bits and pieces.
Well, it was expensive, so it's nice.
He was pretty impressed with the car. His wife was, his wife couldn't get out of the car, just sort of sitting in it. So
I got in, I could barely go.
They even turned up at the drags. So it's the first time they've ever been there to the drags, and they saw the trucks and prime movers everyone had there, and they were just blown away by the sport.
And Jason's come along for a ride, and he's passing me now. He keeps on coming up with better ideas.
Well, that's it's good having it in the family, I guess. Sort of
I would still have a carburettor on it and cast iron heads. Now we got 16 injectors, and we're going to 8 coils as well. There's a lot of things in the future will all be laptop oriented. We don't touch the fuel anymore. We just put different figures in.
And speaking of family, you've got the shop dog here, workshop manager.
It's sort of a worry, isn't it? He knows more than both of us.
We get told when we've got to stop and play, or how hard we've got to play, and we haven't thrown the ball far enough, so it's all a bit harder next time.
And loves the camera.
And so, when did you start getting into it, Jackson? You were still doing go-kart.
I've done karting since I was, still got the shirt on now, but been since I was 10, and been doing that for 25 years, and
I guess
travelled around.
To have a dad so into it, you kind of just fall into it yourself.
So kind of that evolved to helping out, learning chassis stuff, and engine development. So
well, it never ends. Thank you for coming down. Thank you for us helping to check out the car. It's been a good time.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.